Well, hello there, humans, hippies, earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and have you lucky enough to be doing it too. I'm Bushka on Blitz, and that's the Bat Chat T25 AP. It's the Tier 9 variant of the Batchat. There are two. You have the Batchat T25 AP, and you have the Batchat at Tier 10. What do I like about this tank in particular? Well, I've done that review already. I've talked about generally the whole thing with the tank. I love light tanks. I love their playstyle. I love the speed, the aggressiveness, the subtlety that's required, the knowledge of the game, the way the better you are, the better a light tank lets you play, and how it's a real challenge at times to carry in a light tank, to actually put enough damage in, because they're not great tanks for making good hit point trades, because basically any hit point trade in a Batchat is a trade where you are quite possibly going to be taking a full HE shell to the face, which is very rarely turning out to be a good trade. And indeed, it's the kind of tank that a lot of players will load HE for in TDs and look specifically for on the battlefield. And that's a particularly bad thing at the moment, because obviously we have masses of big TDs like Jaegeroos and 183s and everything at Tier 10. And when you're playing Tier 10 and Tier 9, that's what you're going to see a lot of. But this game, for our purposes, is a Tier 9 game. So happy days for us. What I really want to talk about is the on-the-move camo. The tank now, I'm really happy with its balance, where it is in the game, how it feels. I hope they don't touch it. I hope it stays where it is, because I don't think it's a tank that does huge amounts of damage. It can do very, very well, and I know a lot of the guys who are super duper unicums, who played in the Twister Cup and all that, have massive numbers in these tanks, and I just don't. That's all there is to it. I generally run slightly under my medium's damage output, which is generally around 2.5 to 2.7k these days anyway, and this thing will run anywhere from 2.2 to 2.4 for me, which is quite low, but you're going to see I do enjoy playing it in a particular manner, and at times I will give up a lot of damage to actually play this in what I call a thoughtful manner, because I enjoy that. This is kind of a tank that for me is a lot of fun, and you can see how many macro decisions you have to make. There's a scent over there. There's a T54E1. There's an ST1 who's got shots. I'm trying to angle up so I don't get hit, and then I'm going to retreat behind another bit of cover here. And all the time I'm doing that, still trying to put shots into targets and help my platoon mate, the Snake Eyes, who is over there and is about to get pushed on. He's going to do me a huge favor, put some shots in this scent. And I'm just angling up at all times. You've got to be really, really aware of where everyone is, because unlike a lot of tanks, you can't really angle up the armor reliably. The upper glacis does, in fact, give you some shots to bounce, because it's very, very steep. But if you show even a little bit of hint of side armor, it'll get penned with HE by any tank you see. Every tank you see pretty much has the HE caliber to pen you for a full HE roll. And that's bad, right? But I really enjoy this playstyle where you are rolling around. You have on-the-move camo now. I will explain this for the 100th time. The beauty of on-the-move camo, and if you don't know about camo, please, I did 3 really simple tutorial videos. If you're a new player, go and watch these videos. They show you the ins and outs of armor. They show you how to hull down and side scrape and angle. They show you camouflage, and that's really key, because they explain to you how camo works. And the basic thing you need to know about camo is when you fire your gun, your camo resets virtually to 0, but it starts resetting if you're far enough away from the target that they won't spot you when you fire your gun. If your camo rating is high enough, well, that will start to reset. It sets to 0 when you stop. Like, it gets to its maximum when you stop, right? Which is cool. And for light tanks, though, it starts treating your tank as if it's stopped completely as soon as you stop firing the gun, which is great. That means you can move, go 70 kilometers an hour down a hill and reset your camo while you're doing it, which is very, very frustrating for tanks that are trying to get you. And you see there's 6 enemies spotted. I did a lot of spotting. I moved around the map, and I loved that, and the damage happened to come my way. I will be very, very passive at times with the whole spotting thing, because I really, really enjoy a whole other side of the game when playing a light tank. I quite love being that passive spotter and trying to leverage it into damage for my teammates. And you're going to see this on Canal is a far more standard Tier 10 meta. We have 4 TDs, not the least of which is my mate Maxi in the T30 Snake Eyes. And The enemy team has a 183 and a Yay Tiger. Every team has a 183. I was in a game yesterday with three 183s and 3 Jaegeroos and a bunch of other TDs. It was 5 TDs on either team. It really is the meta at the moment. But don't be discouraged. You can see there I'm firing into that bush. Why? Because if there was someone in that bush camping and I fired, my camo would drop. I would get spotted when I pulled back and I would know that there was a target there. So what are we going to do here? Because this is the standard canal meta, and this is where I really want to talk about the changes to the Tier 9 Batchat and the Tier 10 Batchat. I'm going to play a super passive spotting role here, but I'm able to do it and able to complete it because they gave this tank its on-the-move camouflage. Quite rightly, because it wasn't a light tank. It really wasn't a light tank when it didn't have on-the-move camo. And you're going to see me utilize this. Now, I don't know how spotting works because I only end up with 1,600 spotting damage out of this whole affair here. And I only end up with like 1 tank spotted. I'm not really 100% certain how the spotting mechanic always works and how it attributes damage and such. But what I do know is that I, honest to God, think that this is why this tank should be in the game and why there needs to be a tank that is playing at Tier 10 as a light tank. You can see I am keeping these guys lit up all the time. That E75 is not me for short, but the 62A over here, and eventually you'll see there's other targets. I'm stopping them from progressing forward. I'm keeping them pinned in that corner, and I'm letting my teammates do the numbers. Now, I've not really done any damage so far. That's no big deal for me, and I'm being quite passive. I could put shots in that E75, but I've got my whole team on the right flank. I've got absolutely no support here. And at the moment, these guys are penned in a corner, and it's not costing me anything at all. I know there's a 183 on the table. Watch how, again, I adjust so that I'm keeping terrain between me and the enemy. I don't have any cover here at all. I don't have anyone to help me. So what I'm going to do is back off to a position where if I get pushed on, I'm going to be able to have Snake Eyes and the T30 push up for me. And I'm going to spot that again when there's nothing there. When Snake Eyes has moved up far enough, I'm going to go back to my original role. I love this. I really, really love this. It's all about on-the-move camouflage. And it's all about being very, very cerebral in your gameplay. And that's something that, it just adds another element, right? That's something I don't really think people understand how much fun I or a lot of people have with the camouflage element and how much we exploit it to be beneficial for our teammates. They've got 2 big TDs entrenched over there sniping. We're running out of time on the cap, and basically it's not so much an issue of we could kill them, but we've got a bunch of TDs, they've got a bunch of TDs. It's not really, it's this meta at the moment in Tier 10, it's so negative. The 183 thing, it's really backed people off. And so what I'm doing is, again, on the move camo lets me do this, because while I'm moving up behind here, I still have full camo. And I'm at 180 odd meters, and that E50M is unable to see me. And what I'm trying to do is get a spot on that 183 to move him down from that top area there, so the rest of the team picks up the ball and runs with it. Now, the 50M's ducked down behind there. I'm waiting. I figure I'm safe now. I'm going to push right through and try and get a spot on the 183. Moving camo. 100%. If they're not within 200 meters of me and there's no bush between me and there's a bush between me and men, I'm safe as houses. Like, it's even within 200 meters, nothing. So now I'm going to push up down here to the left on the move camo, still working like a treat. The 183 is absolutely there. And I'm then going to clear this E50M. And there's our 183. Spotted. I've completely screwed their flank. Like, they got nothing out of this corner at all. And now we're going to play a very patient game. And this is the kind of game I adore playing. It's not flashy. It's definitely not super exciting. It's not 7K. It's not anything that's really vibrant and electric to look at. But I really enjoy it. It's a whole different kettle of fish for me. And it's very different from farming damage in a sniper tank or a TD, or getting in a farm position in a T54 or a T62A and going hull down, or, you know, grabbing a pattern. And they're very different tanks for me to play. They couldn't have done what I did here. And I'm very cognizant of the fact that that 183's there, and then I'm going to be a sneaky grub, because 1,000 Mississippi, 2,000 Mississippi, 3,000 Mississippi, 4,000 Mississippi, 5,000 Mississippi, 6,000 Mississippi. That's enough. If you don't do that, I was playing with Aesthetic Winner the other day from Void Clan, and we were on disc, and I all the time count in my head to make sure that I know when their reload is up, and he started doing it as well, and that was like the most awesome thing ever, because it's good to know that other people have the same issues that you have. And then I'm pushed back around here, and I've stopped, and it's less about the camo now and more about the fact that like the tank's just really, really mobile and tiny and very low to the ground, and we've just got the 183 left, and we've only got 40 seconds left, so I'm just letting the camo reset, then I'm going to push out, not reset, sorry, letting the reload reset, getting a full clip, and then moving on up here to spot him, just in case someone has a target, can actually get stuck in. He shoots, and we finish him. And that is the big difference to me. It's the hole that this tank has filled. The ability for this tank to do that was not there. You could not do that before. And, I mean, I only get one spotted target and 1,600 damage. Like, 1,600 assisted damage. I mean, come on. I don't know how the game mechanic works exactly. But I want to find out, and I know it's been talked about before, and maybe I've just forgotten or repressed the memory, I don't know. But that's the big changes for the Batchat. The 25T and the Batchat at tier 10 are both, the Musketeer, are both hellishly fun light tanks now. Tanks I really, really enjoy driving, and yeah, I love that whole getting in there and figuring things out. I think it's great fun. Till next time, guys, look after yourselves and stay safe on the battlefield.